In a metropolis city like London, Rumi's Cave, a less known albeit growing community space, becomes a common ground where people come together to break their fast.
Rumi's Cave is where we originally started about 6 years ago. It started as a place where someone could come and not be judged and feel free to be themselves. So a lot of the mosques that have been developed in this country are very cliquey, they're very niche, and there's like a certain crowd. And women who didn't wear hijab, or non-Muslims, or just people who were curious and wanted to hang out with Muslims, generally didn't feel welcome. So this is like an alternative place to the mosque. What a mosque should be doing, but is not. So it's a place where you can come as a community, sit down, have tea, bring some food, or if you've got some talents or some sort of cultural, then you can bring into it.
My name is Sahib Hassan. I was working here as a project manager, and now I'm a volunteer. I'm one of 2 people that lead the prayers, Tarawih prayers, about 4 days a week, 3 days a week, and give one talk a week, and just help out with anything else that needs to be done. The whole space was designed for people that want to learn about Islam. Usually we do a series of talks called Ramadan Reflections, where we cover reminders or lessons from Ramadan, and just helping people connect with the spirit of Ramadan and just to learn from it, really.
On a quiet day, you can probably get about 15 people coming down, like a dozen.
The experience breaking fast in the community hub is great. You get to meet people from different countries, different backgrounds, so it enriches you as an individual. And you just get to share something different with each other.
My name is Nuria. I'm originally Spanish and I've been living in London for 2 years. Well, I got to know Rumi's Cave when I got to London about 2 years ago, and I absolutely loved the place. Some friends introduced me to the whole community, and it's great to have a place in such a big city where you can just come and meet other Muslims, and it's an open community, open to everybody. So you can kind of learn to express creativity, there's different events going on, so there's kind of something for everybody.
On the other side of the city, Islam meets up with his friend Michael to break his fast. Tonight, he will be having his iftar meal at a halal eatery located in East London.
Michael, who is my best friend, he's not actually Muslim, but he respects the religion so much, and he's so interested about it, and he's always asking questions. It's very nice to just know that my character and the people that I've introduced him to, the other Muslims that I've introduced him to, have that impact. Because I think the strongest form of da'wah is through your own self.
For Islam, Ramadan is more than just an abstinence from food and drink. Rather, it is a vital aspect of his Islamic faith.
Ramadan is like when people have New Year's resolutions, right? But for us, it's like a whole month. It's a time of self-reflection. It's a time of reforming. And I think Ramadan is a perfect time to do that because, as they say, the shaitan's locked up. And it's all about the battle within yourself. So now you can't blame the devil for whispering in your ear. It's all down to you. I think Ramadan is about reforming oneself. In UK right now, the length of the fast is really long. The gap between iftar and suhoor and praying tarawih in between is quite tight. The longest fast I've done in years, because I remember when I was a child, I used to break it at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Meanwhile, Muslims who are gathered at Rumi's Cave await patiently for the azan call to be made. For converts like Nathaniel, Rumi's Cave is a shelter for them to seek like-minded people, especially so during the month of Ramadan.
I've been coming to Rumi's Cave for 2 years. A friend recommended it when I was at a zikr in Maidavale, and I came and I loved it. Some of the challenges I faced for my first Ramadan, I would say the loneliness of not being with other Muslims or not starting my fast with other people. When I took my Shahada, a murder took place in South London that was attributed to Islamic terrorism, and that made my mother very scared that I was going to go down the same path. They're more accepting now. It's been about 2 years. They know that Islam is just a normal faith and that it's a path of spirituality and peace.
Soon, the Azan call resounds, signalling for the time of Maghrib prayer. Everyone begins by consuming a few dates and drinking a mouthful of water that has been laid out by one of the volunteers.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahmani Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim, sirata allazina an'amta alayhim, غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
Soon after the Maghrib prayer is done, Isa heads over to the Halal Eatery next door to purchase takeaway for iftar. This is a routine practiced by Rumi's Cave for their daily Ramadan gatherings.
A lot of time people bring food and everyone kind of shares on it. On days that's quiet, there's some restaurants in the area that we've developed a relationship with, and they sponsor, give us a good discount for us to when people come in, they just donate a little bit of money, and then we manage to get a lot of food. And it's a lot. But even our neighbours next door, they give it to us and they ask for prayers in return and stuff like that. So it's very nice that there's a nice community of restaurants that help us provide the iftars.
Supported by well-meaning restaurants and like-minded participants, the generosity Rumi's Cave received is what keeps their informal social gathering going. Being in the company of fellow Muslim brothers and sisters is a comforting experience for Muslims from all walks of life. Here at Rumi's Cave is where Hassan finds solidarity while being away from his hometown. As daylight gives way to the evening sky, this group of friends at Rumi's Cave gather around to enjoy the iftar meal together. For such is the spirit of Ramadan.